So we're doing an oil change on the 2019 Kia Sorento SX Limited model with the 6-cylinder. That's what it looks like. From the top of the motor, looks like that. We'll be filling the oil into this spot right here and checking it here. But before you get to that point, you have to remove the whole bottom cover. So this annoying cover, it has all of these bolts holding it on. And so you might want to get you an air wrench like this one. That way you could take it off without a whole bunch of effort. So anyway, underneath the vehicle, this is your oil filter right here. And so you just unscrew this and oil will no doubt pour out of that. And then also here is your oil drain screw right here. So when you undo this, the oil is going to shoot kind of this way. So we'll be putting an oil bin underneath these things as we do this. And so I'm going to go ahead and get to work doing that. Okay, so this is what you get with the filter. You get this sort of filter, okay? You get an O-ring that's going to go up underneath this right here. And then you see the metal washer right there. That goes on your screw to replace the other one, because each one makes its own seal. So it's probably best not to use the same one again. So this filter comes with it. So we'll go ahead and change that out and put the screw back in right now. Okay, so we got that in, and we got the bolt tightened down with the new washer, and we're going to change out the filter now. Alright, so we got the O-ring that was on here. That's the old one. This is the new one. We're going to put it on here. So I'm going to put it on that groove right there. That one. And then we're going to rub a little bit of oil on it. And put it back in. And this does not have to be in very tight, but you definitely don't want it to fall out. And they have little white marks on here that will line up when you get to the right spot. All right, so that's it. Got the white marks lined up, and that's ready to go. And keep in mind that oil is a carcinogen. They say it'll cause cancer, so you want to maintain a clean work environment when you do this. Wipe up any spilled oil, get it off of your body, etc. Okay, so the recommended oil that it calls for is 5W30. You can tell because it's on the cap. 5W30. So I always use synthetic oil in everything I've got, and I use this Mobile One extended performance. I get 15,000 miles on it with no problem. I've been doing that for years and years, and it's been working well, so that's what I'm going to go back with. So it calls for about 6.5 quarts in here. So I put in 5 quarts just now. I'm going to test it on the dipstick first and see where it reads. Alright, so you can see that it is 1 quart low. That's what that line means. So this will be the full line, and that's a quart low. So I'm going to put another quart in there. It's always a good idea to run the vehicle for a few minutes and then test the oil again. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so I let it run for a bit. We're going to test it again and make sure that everything is properly filled. So the oil level went down when I cranked the engine. So now I'm going to have to add more oil. Okay. It's right up to the line. All right, everything is good. It's a good level. And now I'm going to go ahead and put the cover on the bottom that covers everything. But first of all, you want to make sure that you don't have any leaks going on underneath the vehicle. It's always good to check before you put the cover on and before you take a road trip. Okay, that's how you do it, or at least that's how I did it. So we'll talk later. Okay, so there's one more thing, and that's this right here. This. You don't have to worry about this. Apparently this is just a stud, and it will just pull off of that, or you can just push it back onto there. So there was no nut whenever I started to work on it, so I'm assuming that there's no nut for that. But I would hand tighten all of these all the way around, because some of them go into kind of a flimsy type of arrangement. So I would recommend maybe using the air wrench to kind of get them a little snug, and then go back and hand tighten it. Okay, so after you get through changing the oil and the filter and getting everything buttoned up and testing it out and everything like that, you're going to want to reset your trip computer on your vehicle. So the way that you do that is you go to this menu right here, and as you notice up here, it will bring you up to the service interval. Okay, now if you keep pressing this button, you'll see at the top that it will go from one thing to another until you get to the user settings. Okay, and the service interval is what you want to do. And then when you do the reset, you click yes. Now another thing that you can do is like what I'm doing with synthetic oil, is I want to adjust the interval, because they actually had it for 5,000 miles. So I want to go to 15,000 miles. And so how you do that is you press the OK button, and then you press up and down to change the numbers. And then when you get to the number you want, you press this down again, and you press it down until it completes the process, and then it's going to ask you if you want to save it. So if I want to adjust it to 7 months, then I can go like that, or 5 months. When I get done, it's going to say save yes. You press this, and it says that it is saved. And if you want to go back and check, there it is right there. You have 15,000 more miles to go and 152 days. So that's how you do that. So that'll make it a little easier to keep track of. You don't need these things anymore.